Max and Min love their grandma. When they visit her, she always has treats to eat and sometimes she takes them out for a movie and ice cream. Another thing the twins love about their grandma is she likes to play games with them, especially card games and board games. The last time Max and Min played card games with her, she taught them how to play better by keeping track of the cards played and thinking about chance. Card games are mostly about chance, she had said. The best players remember what cards have come out of the pack and keep track of where they are so they can think about what cards are left in the pack and the chance of them showing up next. A full pack of playing cards includes a heart, a diamond, a spade, and a club of each of the 13 values, which are from 2 up to 10, plus jacks, queens, kings, and aces. So that is 4 lots of 13, which equals 52. When we start a game with a full pack of 52 playing cards and no cards have been seen yet, it is equally likely that the first card seen will be a 5, or a 10, or a king. In other words, the chance is the same for any of the cards to be the first picked. However, once you see the first card, for example, the 6 of spades, which is taken out of the pack and given to a player or put in a separate pile, what is the chance of the next card in the pack also being the 6 of spades? Max and Min looked at each other and said at the same time, "No chance. It's impossible to pick the 6 of spades because it is no longer in the pack." "That is correct, kids," replied their grandma. "There would be no chance because there is only one of each card." "What about the chance of the second card being one of the 6s still left in the pack? That is, the 6 of hearts, the 6 of diamonds, or the 6 of clubs, compared to picking, say, a 9? Grandma asked. "Well," answered Max, "since there are still 3 6s left in the pack, one of them could be the next card. However, there are 4 9s in the pack, so you are more likely to pick a 9 because there is one more of them." "That's correct, Max," said an impressed grandma. "It is more likely one of 4 9s is picked next, or you could also say it is less likely one of the 3 remaining 6s is picked." A good card player would also realize that, since there are still 51 cards left in the pack, it is unlikely that the next card is a 6 or a 9, since there are only 3 6s and 4 9s, that is, 7 of those 2 numbers in the pack, and 44 cards for all the other numbers. So it is likely that the next card taken from the pack is not a 6 or a 9. It is like taking a jelly bean out of a jar with your eyes closed. If there are 15 red jelly beans, 10 orange ones, and 5 black ones, which of those colours would you more likely pull out? "I suppose a red one, because there are more of those in the jar," replied Min. Grandma smiled. "That's correct, Min. See, it just makes sense. Picking a red jelly bean is most likely, picking an orange one is less likely, and picking a black one is least likely. And if there were no green jelly beans in the jar, what are the chances of picking one of those?" None, both twins called out together. Grandma smiled again. You're getting the hang of this, kids. What if, after picking some jelly beans and eating them, there are the same number of red, orange, and black ones in the jar? What are the chances of picking each colour now? What has changed? Well, replied Max, now that the number of each colour is the same, there is an equal chance of picking any of the colours. They are equally likely to be picked. Yes, said Grandma, and it's like that with cards too. As you play a game and the numbers of cards in the pack changes, so does the chance of picking a particular card. For example, if you know that the Jack of Diamonds is still in the pack and there are only 3 cards left in the pack, then it is much more likely to pick the Jack then than if there were 20 cards left in the pack. Another thing to remember when playing cards is that if you have the Ace of Hearts in your hand, no one else can have that card. There are many things or events in life that cannot occur at the same time. If it is midnight in your town, it cannot be noon there a minute later. If I am at home gardening, I cannot be shopping downtown at the same time. Soon, Max and Min and their grandma finished playing cards. The twins were happy that Grandma had discussed chance with them because they found that as they kept better track of the cards and thought more about how likely certain cards were to be dealt, they won more games and Grandma enjoyed playing with them even more. Just before they left Grandma to go home, they played a quick board game. Grandma was in teaching mode that day, so she asked them a question about the dice they were using in the game. So kids, she started to ask, if I roll these 2 dice and get 7, does that make it less or more likely to get 7 again with the next roll? Max and Min looked at each other. That was a really good question. They had to discuss it between themselves for a couple of minutes, but in the end they were sure of the correct answer. Min spoke up. Well, Grandma, the answer is neither more nor less. It makes no difference to the roll of the dice what the previous roll was. Every roll of the dice is a brand new event, so the chances of rolling certain numbers is the same every time and not affected by the roll before. It's like tossing a coin, which can either show a head or a tail. When you toss a coin, the result does not depend on the toss before. Every time you toss the coin, it's equally likely to get a head or a tail. Their grandma laughed at that perfect answer. Your dad is right. You kids are maths geniuses. From now on, when you play a card game or throw dice, think about likely, unlikely, or impossible outcomes. Now you can watch this video again or try the quiz and look at the chart that comes with this video.